okay, it's me and the cicadas out here again in the courtyard. It's warm today, but it's not bad because the breeze is a little cool. But I just wanted to share this with you today. I don't know why Spirit gave me this, but it gave me narcissist vibes. But I just wanted to say, and I'm going to elaborate on this, that just because you have a testimony for one or two of the things that you suffered through, that doesn't mean that you get to testify about everything in life. So you got to be careful about bearing false witness to further your own agenda. And I'm going to do a little story time, and then I'm going to let you guys go. Basically what it says, a lot of us go through experiences. We go through things, and fortunately, half of us learn from it, half of us don't. But those of us who do learn, not only do we learn from that, we also want to share that experience with other people in hopes to help someone who's gone through what we went through. Especially when you get older. I was taught in my culture many years ago that it's best for you to share, to teach, to educate, to guide once you get in a certain age group, to those that are coming behind you, to be somewhat of an example. And I've shared some of my experiences on live. You can check out the past live streams without going into detail. But now I'm in a mode now where I'm trying to share my experiences with people that are going through what I'm going through, so they can have the skills and the ability to try to tackle these things on their own and overcome those obstacles without being a casualty. But understand this, the things that I have gone through does not mean that I know everything about everybody's experience in the world, regardless of how old they are. Just because I went through substance abuse doesn't mean that the other person who's gone through substance abuse had the same exact experience. All I can do is share my experience and hoping that they can glean something from that will work in their situation so they can become sober and productive and just kind of pass the torch and help somebody else. But I don't give my testimony as a means to try to coerce or brainwash someone into my way of thinking or my lifestyle, because, those are bad intentions. We don't want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and tell a little story time, and I'm going to let you guys go. Now, I'm going to give my disclaimer right now and let you guys know now. I'm going to talk about a religious situation in regards to church. So for those of you who have issues with that, go ahead and click off the video. Thank you for listening thus far and move on. I'm simply sharing something that I went through. Now, if you had a chance to watch my video on live stream about my Georgia upbringing, I stated that we had generations of teachers and preachers in our family. So with that being said, my typical day, and I think I covered this in the live stream, would literally be from about 9 o'clock in the morning until about 9 o'clock at night, going to at least two, 3 or 4 churches with Sunday school and regular service and special services and services that my dad did as guest speaker or MC or that type of thing. And plenty of times it would be a 12-hour day for Sunday for me. And it gave me a chance to be exposed to different people, different denominations. Even though we were predominantly Southern Baptist, he was asked to speak at different locations like CME, which is Christian, well, I want to say that's Christian Methodist Episcopal, which is CME. Put in the comments if I got that right. And then AME, which is African Methodist Episcopal. So it's kind of like a blending of religions. So it's AME, CME, Pentecostal, we've done that. I think maybe 1 or 2 non-denominational churches where my father was asked to MC an event, a musical event, or to speak. And you come across different types of people. And some churches, they allow you to do a testimony at the beginning of service where you can testify and say, what Spirit has done for you, God, Jehovah, Yahweh, whatever name you choose to use for heavenly power. And some people kind of go overboard with that because they realize the attention is being placed on them. And instead of just giving their testimony in hopes to help someone and giving honor to the Most High, the spirit jumps in them of being a bit narcissistic, and they take a little bit too long and embellish a little bit too much on what happened with them. Now, the problem with that is there's always that one person that knows what the truth is. And sometimes they get called out on it. So you got to be careful with that, guys. And plenty of times I've been to churches where someone will sit there and they will do their testimony, and it's the longest testimony in the whole world. And sometimes the pastor would literally have to cut them off. And the way the pastor cuts them off, and this is hilarious, the pastor would either come to the podium and start praying right away to cut them off in the middle of the testimony, or he would order the organist or the pianist or the drummer to start playing the church music so the choir can get up and start singing, and then that person will go sit down. It's funny, y'all. But anyway, they're just doing too much because the pastor already picked up that this person is really going overboard with this. Let's say Sister Lucy had a drinking problem, and Sister Lucy's been sober for 3 years. Sister Lucy had to testify this week because Sister Lucy said she went to a cookout and they had all this liquor around, and she's just so glad that she didn't drink any liquor, that all she had was iced tea and soda, and she's so glad, and this, that, and the other. But that's all she had to say, 2 or 3 minutes, right? No, she proceeds to talk about the drug addicts and proceeds to talk about the cigarette smokers and the gamblers and the addiction this and the addiction that. Now, I understand that alcohol is an addiction, but it's a different type of addiction as opposed to opioid addiction and heroin addiction and cannabis addiction and gambling addiction. You know, it's an addiction. The behaviors are the same, but the addiction is different because it's a different scenario. Sister Lucy realizes that the whole church is paying close attention to her, and all of a sudden what she wants to do is to make sure that spotlight stays on her. So the pastor, being wise as he is, he goes ahead and he starts to fanfare the music or whatever to shut her down, or he'll start a prayer. But she's taking too long. So you got to be careful with these things. Understand that if you're going to speak in front of a group or counsel with anyone, just because you have a testimony for something in your life that you overcame, fine. Say what you have to say and keep it going. Don't make it a show. Now, I know it's a short one, but I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys with that. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. And if there's anything that you've gone through in your life that you overcame, don't be like me, hesitating for 2-3 years to even share this information with people, because the more that we share, the more people we can help. And I'm in the spirit of help right now. I'm at that age, like I said, in my culture, in the African American culture, after a woman gets a certain age, she should be in the teaching and the guiding part of her life. And that's where I am right now. So if I can do that by way of sharing my experiences with people and just, you know, one person and one little nugget of information to help them, that's all I need. But when we teach, we have to make sure we pull us out of it. And we have to be guided by Spirit to teach properly and to teach well and communicate in a way where that person understands and receives what you're giving them. Because you didn't do it by yourself. Spirit helped you. So you have to be led by the Spirit when you share your testimony. And you can't make it a show all about you. You really can't. Because you lose credibility when you do that. And the value of the message decreases. So I kind of hope this helps somebody. I wish you all peace, power, protection, and prosperity. And you have a great day.